Hello and welcome back to my channel, Craft Time by Casey. I am Casey, and today this is the moon pendant necklace that I will be making. Most of the components came from Sam's Bead box for the month of October 2023. So if you would like to see how this necklace came about, then stay tuned. All right, let's get right into it. I'm going to start with the tools that I will be using. I have 2 sets of chain nose pliers, 1 set of cutters, and 1 set of crimping pliers. And I want to briefly mention my tool set. It is the Casual Comfort tool set, and as the name suggests, they are very comfortable to use. The biggest thing for me is the size. A lot of times jewelry making tools will be made quite a bit smaller, and they certainly function, but for me, when I found these, I just can't imagine using anything else. And you can see the handles are quite a bit larger as well. So I will have these tools linked down below, along with everything else I use in the video that did not come from the bead box. And I will be using 49 strand bead along wire in the color Bright, which is this silver color. And I always get the 100 feet just because I go through it so quickly. I will also have linked below the opening video I did for Sam's Bead box, and it will have a detailed description of all of the beads I use that came from the box. From my own stash, I will be using some bead caps, some spacers. I have some 4mm and some 2mm spacers, a bail, which we will get into here in just a minute. I also have the findings. I have a lobster clasp, some jump rings, and I have wire guardians, crimp tubes, and crimp covers. And the first thing I'm going to do is take my silver pinch bail and put it on the pendant bead, the focal bead for this necklace. And pinch beads are pretty simple. I'm just going to put it here in the drilled hole at the top and pinch it closed, just like that. So very simple to add a bail to this pendant. So now I'm going to set this aside until I put it on the necklace. And I have already cut a length of wire, and as you can see, I have about 14 inches here. And here's how I start the strand. I'm gonna put on a crimp tube, a jump ring, and a wire guardian. I'm gonna put it through one side and wrap it around and put it through the other side. And I want to make sure that jump ring is up in that wire guardian, and I'm going to pinch it closed with my fingers. And I want to make sure both ends of that wire go through that crimp tube. And I'm going to pull that longer piece because I don't need the tail quite that long. And I want that wire separated just like this, so it's not crossed under that crimp tube. And I'm going to go in with my crimping pliers into that second divot. Give it a good smash. Get that taco shape, turn it on its side. Go into that first divot, give it another smash. And then I'm going to go in with that flat part at the end of the crimping pliers and give it the final smash. And that should make it nice and snug. And I'm going to take a crimp cover and put it right on top of that smashed crimp tube. And then I'm going to flip it up and go in with my chain nose pliers and give it a gentle smash. And then I go front to back on that crimp tube and give it another gentle smash, couple of them to give it that round shape. And that is how we start the strand. And now it's simply the order of the beads. So here's the first set. I have a flower bead cap on either side, and I really enjoy this kind of almost a splatter paint, should mimic the night sky black bead. Pull it down and put that tail into the bead just like that. And then I have a simple back and forth with these moon beads and the 4mm spacers on either side. And then I'm going to do this exact setup 1.5 more times. All right, here it is. And then I'm adding one of these drop beads that has that kind of snake swirly line on the side, just like that. And this is one side, just like that. And this is one side. And now we'll put on the center component. So right now, the center component, it has two 2mm spacers and one 3mm black pearl in the middle. And now is where I'm gonna go ahead and put on my pendant bead. And of course, it's not sealed off yet, but if I hold this in place, you could see this bail should go freely over the 3 center beads. So when it's completed, this bail and the pendant will be hanging off the center just like that. So now we're gonna put these exact beads on this side. All right, so here it is. And one thing to keep in mind if you're using these moon face beads from the Sam's bead box, the way I have it's where the faces are going to be facing up on both sides, if you know the way it would hang as a necklace. So you just want to kind of keep the direction in mind as you're putting the beads on. So now we're going to close it off. I'm going to put on a crimp tube, a jump ring, and a wire guardian. Put it through one side, wrap it around and put it through the other. And you want to make sure that jump ring is up in that wire guardian, and I'm going to pinch it closed with my fingers. And I have both ends of the wire going through that crimp tube. I'll pull it down, and I want to put that end through the first set of beads. Just like that, and you want to pull it really snug. But you do want to be careful. You want to make sure your strand is flexible, so you want to move it around a little bit. You don't want it too snug, but you don't want any gaps in between the beads, so you got to have that balance and get it snug. All right, now I'm going to go in with my crimping pliers into that second divot. Give it a good smash. Have that taco shape in there. Turn it on its side. Go into the first divot. Give it another smash. And go in with that flat part on the end and give it that final smash. And I'm going to hold the end like this, grab that crimp cover, place it right on top of that smash crimp tube, and then flip it up. Go in with my chain nose pliers and give it a gentle smash. And I'm going to go back in with my chain nose pliers, front to back, on that crimp cover, to give it that round shape, just like that. And now I'm going to take this tail, go in as close as I can with my cutters, and I'm going to go in, well, it just kind of fell into that next bead, so that's nice. Normally I'll go in and I'll push it in there. All right, so here is the strand, and I think this is absolutely beautiful. I love this pendant. This very much would be a kind of a night sky space type necklace. So now I'm gonna add the chain, and I'm using this 2mm Rolo chain that I have. And as you can see, each piece is about 6.5 inches. And this necklace strand here is about 7 inches. And I'm gonna use the jump rings that are already on there. Go in there with my chain nose pliers, open. And I'm gonna connect it to that last link in the chain, just like that, and close that jump ring. And I'm gonna grab another 4mm jump ring and connect it to the other last link, just like that. And while I have this open, I'm gonna go ahead and put on my lobster clasp and close that jump ring. And I'm gonna put on the other chain the exact same way, but instead of the lobster clasp, I'm gonna end it with this jump ring. All right, and now I'm going to connect it. There we go. And here it is. And one last thing that I'm gonna add, one thing that also came in Sam's bead box this month were these really cool moon charms. And I added my own jump rings to them. I'm gonna go ahead and open it. And I'm gonna put it right over the very next spacer bead from the center pendant. Just like that. And close it. And I'm gonna put the other one on the same way. All right, there it is. All right, this is so cute. Okay, I love this. Okay, I'm gonna set it up on my display so that we can see it better. All right, so here it is, and I absolutely love it. I am so happy with how this came out. I think that moon pendant is just absolutely beautiful, and I think it sets the whole thing off. And I really love those two little moon charms. I think it's just a little touch, and it really adds to the whole aesthetic of the piece. And I like how unique the beads are, how different, and those moon beads with the faces, I just think they're so cute, and this whole thing comes together just so nice. So if you like this video and you would like to see other videos just like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and give me a like. Leave a comment. I absolutely love reading my comments. You guys are so kind, and I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.